Long before there's any kind of social safety net, a woman who lost her husband in war could apply to the state for financial support. From the American Revolution through the Spanish-American War, well over 100,000 women collected a widow's pension from the federal government. During the Revolution, these pensions were limited to the wives of commissioned officers who fell in battle. It wasn't until the War of 1812 that spouses of enlisted men also became eligible for survivors' benefits. Military rank still mattered, though, as it determined the cash value of the award. Up to the Civil War, payment ranged from as little as $4 to $8 a month for the wife of a private to $30 a month for a woman married to a high-ranking officer. To apply for a widow's pension, a woman had to submit a sworn declaration stating the facts of her case. She also had to furnish evidence of her legal marriage to the deceased and offer documentation corroborating the details of her story. A marriage certificate was the best proof, but a claimant could also present other forms of evidence such as affidavits from neighbors who knew the couple or a family keepsake inscribed with the date of the wedding. Pension applications could generate a lengthy paper trail, especially if the pension officer handling the claim had any questions about its legitimacy. Throughout the 19th century, the Pension Bureau in Washington, D.C. maintained the files of all women who applied for a widow's pension. These records are now the property of the National Archives in Washington, stored in thousands of boxes in its vaults. Pension files are of great value to genealogists and historians, opening a window into the world of ordinary people whose lives and experiences might otherwise be lost to time.
My name is John Deben. I'm a reference archivist at the National Archives, and we're going to take a look at a Civil War widow's pension. This is an approved pension. It's one of the earliest ones from the war. This is a certificate number 15, and this is for a Rebecca Cameron, who was the widow of Colonel James Cameron. James Cameron was the first colonel who was actually killed in combat during the Civil War. He fell at the Battle of First Manassas in July of 1861. And then these are the two affidavits that the claimant submitted. One was dated February of 1862, and then she submitted a second one in August, but they're virtually identical. She's providing her statement in accordance with the Pension Act that was passed by Congress, the information that they needed regarding the soldier's death, and then her relationship to the soldier. And then they're also, both are followed by statements from witnesses verifying her account and the information she provides. So you can see that in both of these, there are official seals because these were done at the local county courthouse in Northumberland County where she was residing at the time. And then along with these, with her two statements, there's a statement that was provided by the pastor who married her. The last document that's in part of the file is just a statement from the examining office, the pension office, restating the details of the claim, and it verifies that it was approved, that she was eligible to receive $30 per month. The benefits were backdated to the date of her husband's death on July 21st, 1861 at the Battle of Bull Run.
Widows' pensions were initially reserved for women whose husbands died as a direct result of their military service. In 1836, however, Congress offered a pension to the widow of any Revolutionary War veteran who had served for at least 6 months. This law came 53 years after the Revolution ended. In time, similar laws were passed for the widows of veterans who fought in later wars, although they too had to wait decades before they are eligible to apply for a pension. A woman forfeited her pension if she married again. An unintended consequence of this rule was that some widows who found another partner chose to forego marriage in order to continue receiving benefits. Congress closed this loophole in 1882 by making adulterous cohabitation grounds for terminating a pension. Then there was the opposite situation. The promise of a pension led to many May to December romances between elderly veterans and women decades or junior. Such marriages generated some public amusement, but they benefited both parties. The aging veteran gained companionship and care in his final years, while his youthful bride stood to gain a widow's pension after his passing. This episode is adapted from Object 16 in the History of VA in 100 Objects digital exhibit. To learn more about this object or other entries in the exhibit, visit the 100 Objects page on the VA History website.